Morning guys, just been down to Aldi. They've had a little caravan special today, but it's not caravan gear we've got this time. We picked up a couple of dash cams. They had these for just under $100, $99.99. Don't know why they bother with that, just call it 100 guys. So just going to have a quick look at what's in the box before we get round to installing them. Now I know this is not really camping gear, but every car these days is advised to have some sort of dash cam, just in case you have an accident and want to record what goes on, or you want to get a video up on Dash Cam Owners Australia. So let's just have a quick look at what comes with it. As you can see, we picked up a couple of these, one for each vehicle. So we've got our 12 volt. We've got a standard cigarette lighter adapter. I don't really like those things, but I don't know if I'll bother to change it. Just a bit irritating. It also takes up one whole socket, which is, yeah, these days you want USB. Why they did that instead of making it a USB power, I don't know. Not a good idea, really. But of course that will be 12 volt, not 5 volts, so don't really have much choice. Some mounting bits and pieces. Let's take that out of the bag so you can see it properly. These bags are always fun to open. That is for shoving the wire up behind the sides and the roof when you want to get the wire out of sight, which is the best way to mount it. And we got some 3M mounting bits and pieces for wire. You can see what those are. The 3M stickers on the back, and just cable holders, so you can put it on the outside if you don't want to mount it behind, or if you can't mount it behind the and that will be, oh, that's a spare sticker for that. Okay, so that's good, because we don't know how long these things will last for. Sitting on the window in the heat, even though it's 3M, you sort of tend to wonder just how long it'll last. Quite a lot lighter than I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be a bit more weighty than that. We have slots in the end there. We've got a USB slot and an SD card. I assume it doesn't come with an SD card, but I've got spares of those, so I'm not bothered about that. This will be the lens we have to remove before recording. I'll leave that on there for now just to protect it until it's installed, and then we'll just swivel it around and take that off. So effectively this sits up against the windscreen and the camera looks out the window. It's got a 140-degree view, this one. It's also got an app which we'll be looking at, because it's got, as you can see, no screen on it for seeing what the video is like as it's being recorded, but it does have an app and it connects to your phone, your mobile phone. So that's about it. You've got a little instruction manual there, which I'm sure won't tell you anything particularly useful. They rarely do. And what do we got down the bottom? We got a little clear plastic sheet. That's to help you with mounting, one assumes. There's a dotted line around that, so that's going to help you work out where you want to mount it.
Please insert TF card.
So as you can see, that's hooked up to a standard USB. I had a look at the manual, and yes, it is a 5 volt, so that cigarette plug adapter converts it to 5 volts. At the moment I've just got it plugged into a power bank, so useful for testing it and setting it up. And for some reason they call that TF card. Why they call it a TF card when the manual says SD card, I have no idea. So we'll just pop one of those in. Wrong way around, of course.
Recording started.
Recording started. Okay, that's handy when
Wi-Fi is on.
I suppose the next thing we do,
Emergency video.
is take the lens cover off so that we can see what's going on, and I'll now install the app on the phone. because that's how you transfer data and you can see what's going on via your phone. Okay, and that's what it looks like when it comes up on Google Store. I install that, which will take a couple of minutes, and see what kind of result we get. Okay, so the app's installed on the phone. It wants us to give permission for it to access stuff on the phone. Blah, 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 whatever. Got no choice but to say yes, 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 because nothing works if you don't. Okay, we go into your phone settings and we are then supposed to set this up. Now it's going to have some generic password, I assume. Let's hope it works.
Wi-Fi is connected.
Okay, so it's confirmed it's connected. Then we go back to the app. Now we should be all set up to use the app. Real-time video recording. Okay, you can stop, blah, blah, blah. Now what if you want to actually see it? There we go. Have a good look at the back of my hand. Here we go. So we've got the camera here.
Emergency video.
Now it's doing that because I'm moving it quickly and it's got a motion sensor in there. There's a little bit of lag between the camera and the phone, which isn't too unusual. These sort of things generally have a short lag, but that's not a big deal. It's so small that it doesn't matter. Well, that came to a grinding halt very quickly when I put the app on the phone, got this to connect to it, connected fine, and tried to get video. Now I can take still shots with this thing. They appear on what they call the album, but no video at all, which is very surprising. So I had my old phone here, which is an old Motorola. It's fairly old, and I thought, well, maybe it's because it's an old phone. Sometimes the older phones don't really work very well with the new apps, but I got a brand new one here. Tried it with that. Exactly the same result. So it's not producing any video that you can send to your phone. Now, I have not yet looked on the SD card to see if there's any video recorded on there, but it should be sending to this. And the other problem with it, it was randomly disconnecting to, its connection to the phone was randomly disconnecting, which was, no excuse. The phone is sitting right next to it. It's not as if it's a long way away. And the Wi-Fi is cutting out because of distance. It was sitting right next to the camera, and it just occasionally dropped out. It just gives you a little message saying Wi-Fi is disconnected. No error messages, no particular reason for it, and that's not acceptable. And I've tried it with both cameras. We've got two of these. We bought two of these things, and I've tried it with both of them. Exactly the same results with both. I'm not happy with this gear at all. It should work out of the box. You shouldn't have these sort of problems. So, two major problems that just make this not worth buying. It randomly disconnects the Wi-Fi to your phone, and there's just apparently no way of getting video from the camera onto your phone. So, come Monday, we'll be taking these back to Aldi and getting the money back. Very disappointed. And yeah, I honestly thought that Uniden might be a halfway decent brand. And as you can see, I've got the manual up on screen here. Very hard to read for somebody with my eyesight, the printed version. But the manual does not agree with the app, so they haven't bothered to upgrade the manual online. It doesn't have the same options on it as the app does. There's some odd little differences. This on the app is called Album, and I'm assuming that is where you're supposed to store the files. Now when I go to look in there, I get the still shots I've taken. If you while it's recording, if you click on the camera icon here, it will take a still shot. You can hear it do it, and then you stop recording, you go into here, the still shots are there, but there's no video, nothing at all. Very, very strange. I have no idea what's wrong with this thing. As I say, I've tried 2 different phones and I've tried both cameras and got the same result. So very, very, very poor for a Uniden product to do this, and there's nothing in the manual that explains what's wrong. They even tell you here, let's just go back up again, I think it was up here somewhere, here we go. To download video, tap the download video tab. The only thing you see is once you've gone into what is now called the album, at the bottom of that, yes, there is a download button, but there is no video to download. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to make of that. So as I say, unfortunately, there's no way I can get this to work. It's just not doing what it should do. It all connected up fine, but I cannot get video out of it. So what I'm going to do at the moment, I've got the card that I was recording on here. We're just going to pop that into the laptop and see if it did record video at all. Whether it did, I don't know at this stage. Okay, yeah, that's what should be coming up. They're the 3 things you see when you go into that second screen on the app. So here are the still shots, they're fine. And it did record video. In fact, it recorded.
Recording started.
Okay, so it is recording the video, it's doing that, but it is not transferring that to the app. And I can't come up with any explanation for why. Now, that on its own wouldn't be a deal breaker to me, because you can access the video this way. Events are when it detects excessive movement of the camera, so that would normally be a crash. So interesting that it did record, but you can't retrieve it.
Started.
The vision's not bad, it's a fairly wide angle lens, and you can hear that's when I took still shots. Those you can see on the camera, the still shots, which are these fellas here, they appear in that album, but the rest of it doesn't. The things that are supposed to appear under the normal and the event tabs simply do not appear. Not being able to get the video to the phone is not a deal breaker. The deal breaker for me is the fact that the Wi-Fi keeps cutting out intermittently. I don't want the Wi-Fi cutting out just intermittently for no reason. So no, I'm not going to recommend this product, and unfortunately, as I say, we'll take it back on Monday and get our money back. Now, just in case there's any doubts about the quality of the SD card I was using, the one I was using in the cam was a SanDisk Extreme Plus 64 GB, which is well within the specifications for the cards they say are usable in the camera. So certainly no problem at all with that, and as I just showed on the laptop, it did record. So there was something wrong with that app. The Uniden app is not working properly. You should be able to fire that up and get the video direct to your phone. You shouldn't have to pull this out of the camera every time, stick it in your laptop and then download your footage. So something very, very wrong with that app. Uniden need to pull their finger out and have a look at why that's not working, because that's going to be the case, I would imagine, for every single one that Audi is selling at the moment. I can't see how that's going to change for anybody else. As you saw, we tried a couple of different phones and we tried 2 different cameras. So yeah, nothing much I can do from here. The only positive out of this is that Audi never gives you any grief when you take stuff back, as long as you haven't damaged it and it's all in the original condition. they take it back without any questions asked, which is good service from Audi. But Uniden, nah, get your act together, guys. Unfortunately, not the kind of video I hoped it might be. I hoped we were going to do an install for that and have some dash cams working in the cars, because we haven't had any in there for a little while now. But not to be on this occasion, guys. Hope the video proves to be useful, and I maybe hope saves people from wasting their time buying these cameras. Catch you on the next video. Cheers. See ya.